Hey, what's up, fam? I've had a thought earlier today that I thought I would just maybe ask a few questions to you guys and girls out there to see if I can maybe get some answers about that. But since the beginning of time, I think since the dawn of humanity, a lot of people would argue like how far back the human race actually goes. Some would say thousands and thousands of years. Some would say millions of years. Creationists that are like Christian scientists, they say a little bit over 6,000 years. I am one of the ones that basically believe that we're a very young race, that we're a very young species, and we were not created with this particular world, but we were created and put in the world that was already here. This is what I believe. And time won't really allow me to really explain all that, but I do believe that we're not as old as we believe. But since the dawning of our race of humanity, there's been wars going on amongst each other. There's been wars amongst different races. There's been wars against the same race. Something I've realized is that we're all the same species. We're all human. Same species means the same kind. Same kind means that, we're basically all the same. And one of the examples I can give you that we're all the same is if I myself made it with someone who was Filipino woman, we can produce a child. If we weren't the same kind, we couldn't produce. Even in the animal world, like if you put two of the same animals together, but they might be of a different race, same species, different race, they can actually produce an offspring. It might be a very unique looking offspring, but it's an offspring nonetheless. So that means that we're the same species. Yet we actually fight against each other, man. Like we fight against one another internally against our own race, and then we fight against other races. And that's not just an American thing. That's a whole world thing. I think right now there's about 127 civil wars going on in Africa. There's a lot of stuff going on in Russia and Asia. There's just a lot of stuff. If you do your research, there's so many different wars going on. A lot of it is for land. Some of it is for the resources. Some of it is just for power. But some of it, kind of boils down to like race. And it seems like we haven't been able to really unite together as one ever. You know what I'm saying? There's always something between races or within our own races, and we just haven't really united as one unit, mankind, humankind. I think if we were to do that, this earth would be a lot better of a place. We can put all the great minds together, all the resources together, and we can just have the utopia and the great world that God intended for us to have. But of course, if you read the Bible, you know how the story ends, and eventually we'll have that unity and that peace and that everything that most people desire. But that may be a while from now. But my question is this. My question is, we have not been able to unite together as one, as humanity, since the dawn of humanity. So my question is, and I may sound crazy asking this question, but I've already been put in the crazy category, and then the short yellow bus, so I'm cool with being crazy. But my question is, what happens when something comes to our planet, right? Because I believe in other, I believe in beings that are outside of our planet, maybe you know, in other parts of the universe or outside of our universe. But I do believe that there's intelligence outside of our little box we call Earth, and outside of our little box that we call our universe and our galaxy. But anyway, what happens when beings that are that are extra dimensional or extra terrestrial? What happens when they come and they invade, right? This earth, and basically we're not united as one. What happens when they come and we're not together? And we're not at our strongest because we're divided against one another. They're probably going to already be much more intelligent and far better technology than us. But if we're divided as well, what happens when they come and they want to take over or do whatever they want to do? What happens when that does happen? You don't believe something like that is coming? I would just say, read your Bible, turn to the end of the Bible in a book called Revelation, and you see that during that time there's going to be a lot of stuff that is happening on this earth that we have never seen before since the beginning of time. There's going to be certain entities that are on the earth that we are not used to seeing. You know, I believe that some of those are of a spiritual origin or an extra dimensional origin. They may have been locked up in the abyss somewhere, and through technology, the means of technology, they've been released, and they're gonna wreak havoc, on this earth. So what happens when we're not together, and we're not united as a human race, and something else like that comes? What are we gonna do then?